Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of the Irish Wrestling Podcast. I'm joined, as you can see, by Mr. Billy Lynch, Billy Bedlam Lynch, podcaster, commentator, announcer, wrestler, promoter, all-around legend in the Irish wrestling scene. Billy, how are things?
Thanks very much. Thanks for the great introduction. Things are good, yeah?
Yeah,
Things are good.
Yeah, welcome to our humble abode, our first ever in-person interview in our so-called studio in our kitchen.
Excellent. Well, I'm very, 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 very glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I hope it works out. I hope it doesn't sound so bad. But first of all, how are things? I know you're not long after your surgery. Myself and Liz had our own surgery, so we're just still coming back to 100%. How are you feeling?
Yeah, 6 months. The 6 months went past there in August, so feel good, feel strong. I'm back doing a bit of training in the gym. Couple of small hiccups with it, but nothing major. But feel good, feel healthy, feel grateful and glad, and all that kind of stuff. That I'm back to work, back doing wrestling shows. I feel good, thankfully. So fingers crossed, touch wood, that it's behind me now and I can move on.
Has the stress of promoting wrestling shows affected it? Has it set you back or anything yet?
No, not really. Thankfully, the show, one of the shows was done while I was actually in surgery. So that was quite unique. I was more stressed about that going well than I was at the actual surgery, and maybe it was a good distraction as well. But I got some people were great when they reached out to me on the day and the few days afterwards. So that was great. It was a good distraction. I don't think we did a show about 8 weeks after the surgery, and I shouldn't have done that show. I was commentating and announcing on it. There was a couple of times where I was coming out of the ring after announcing, and I nearly blacked out a couple of times. Everything goes kind of very small. Because when I'm ring announcing, I give it everything, and when you expel that much energy, you're like, oh,
your stomach is just
exactly.
Squeezing
So I was absolutely bollocks a couple of times, but I got through it, and it was just a positive day. So yeah.
And there was a time that was it. You were done. You were handing over the reins of RCW to lads. They were going to take over completely. Or?
Yeah, well, you know what? During surgery, I just I didn't have the capacity to think about it. After surgery, about a week after surgery, I didn't have the capacity at that point to be planning shows and doing shows, and I just didn't really want to be in that mindset. And it was kind of more of a trial, put a caretaker kind of in charge, where I kept a little bit back and I was seeing how they do. But as I was getting stronger and healing, that's not a real word, as I was getting stronger and healing and getting back to myself, I just felt that I'm still probably the best person in the best position at the moment to drive it on. So I took it back. And we kicked on from there.
Well, it's good to see. It's good to see it. It's still going, because there was a stage there where, with the Kino changing hands, and then you're being sick, and we were like, Cork needs wrestling. We have to have wrestling in Cork.
Yeah, there's been I suppose we're coming up to a year soon enough. Yeah. It's about a year when RCW was announced, because it was this time last year when Phoenix closed, and I was pretty much had the decision made to leave wrestling. But I had a phone call with somebody in the car one day, and by the time the phone call had ended, I had RCW formed, basically.
Just like that.
Yeah, it was just like that. I was very surprised.
Did you come up with the name on the spot, or was that something in your back of mind?
I was down on my holidays in Kerry. The first time I was on to leave, I leave that name anonymous. But by the time I got from Ballybunion back to Clarny, I had a name, I had a graphic, I had you guys contacted to say that we want to do a podcast that night. I had an announcement, I had the Kino booked. I just went for it straight again because I had unfinished business. I didn't really want to leave. It was just the way it was panning out. It wasn't kind of sustainable. Phoenix wasn't sustainable, but it's all good. But yeah, there has been a bit of up and down in the last year. But I think now that we have, even with the last show, the Kino, we're back in the Kino for one show. Might do other shows in the Kino, but it's not going to be our full-time home. We're in the PAV now going forward. And I feel very stable in the shows that I've planned for the next few months. Do you know what I mean? So, and I have them all booked. I have all the talent booked. I think we've all our angles already sorted. So, let's bring it on.
Yeah, and you mentioned there is a chance to go back to the Kino. It's not a closed off circuit now after the show.
We'll see. I mean, it is new management, and they are different. Trust me, they're different to deal with. There's different issues that we're having. I don't think they really trust us. They don't know what to expect, and I get that. Yeah. And there's been some building works gone on the Kino, so it might be a bit tighter in there. And I never say never, like, but I would prefer if the Kino was there for the odd show now rather than the main show, because the problem with the Kino, and it's a great venue, it changes ownership so many times.
Yeah.
You can't plan for the future with it. So from a sustainability perspective, it's gone, like, since we started promoting 5 years ago, it's gone through 5 or 6 different changes of management.
Yeah.
And like, Jesus, like, and there was a time where at least one, if not two of those managements didn't want us in there at all.
Was there a time
we lost it.
that they were planning on knocking it and building apartments or something?
Yeah.
I heard that too.
The same person that owns it still owns it. And he got planning permission to knock it and do that. So that will happen at some point.
Yeah.
I just want to have myself.
You don't want to have a show booked in there. Like,
so we're going to the PAV for a couple of shows, and I got a great feeling in the PAV. I got a great buzz out of being in there. I was like, shit, we could do this, we could do that. And so I can't wait for the first show, but just the management in the PAV are a lot more settled. Benny McCabe owns about 15 different places. I mean, he's not going to go bust or anything like that. And as long as he wants to keep diversity in Cork, which he does, and that's what the PAV is there for, I think we'll get on great and we'll have a good home. So fingers crossed it goes
well. For people who are watching who mightn't be from Cork, mightn't be familiar with the PAV, like it's like we talked earlier about. It's not the first time there'll be a wrestling show in the PAV.
No. So about 7 years ago, CCW did a show in the PAV. They did one show in there. That was the old PAV before it was renovated, and it was back then. It was a very decent venue. Now I think it's an exceptional venue. The way it's decorated, with the way the noise will resonate, it would remind you a Cork version of Dolan's. For the atmosphere.
Everything's closed in.
It's not like the Kino where the doors are open and the sound travels out. I think it'll make for a really unique experience, all going well. And we got some really good big wrestlers coming in too. So
well, let's talk about that. I know we'll get on to the show in September, but we'll go on to November. You've booked Eric Young.
Eric Young for December, for December.
How did that come about? Is that someone he's on tour and you're in Europe, or
on tour? Yeah, and you'd always kind of have your contacts, right? And there's Gary Ward is the guy's name. He's Wrestle Carnival promoter. And he kind of does tours with wrestlers like that. So I saw it, and I actually tried to book him last year for the first RCW show where he was booked out. Or was it a Phoenix show? I can't remember. I did ask the last time he was on tour. So I saw he was around, got the date, and we went from. I actually tried to get him for November, but he was unavailable. So December it is.
December, okay. So December 5th,
December 8th. It's a Friday night. We're not going to be
on December 8th.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not going to do too many shows on a Friday night, but because of the scheduling, I got to take it. So there we go. November 4th, December the 8th. Yeah.
November, December in the PAV.
Eric Young coming to Cork. Get your tickets.
You mentioned on the show with the Jerry on the Wrestle Slam that there was an X Division, an RCW X Division title coming. A lot coming before Eric Young gets here. I know he's famous for his X Division story with the TNA and Impact.
It certainly will. Yeah, so I'm looking to kick off the PAV in style, and I think no better way than the first match to be for the X Division belt. So who's in it? Time will tell. But I want to recreate basically the first the LJ Cleary, Fabio, and Martin Steers had that triple threat.
Ridiculous. That was my match of the year last year.
Yeah, it was unreal. It was it was. I was sitting down. I was just like,
I was looking at fucking goosebumps.
Yeah.
So good.
So that's what I want. And there won't be anyone in those X Division matches that can carry that or can't pull that off, because we got an amazing array of talent in Ireland and plenty of wrestlers in the UK and Europe that can take those matches as well. So. Mum's the word for now, but it's going to be
cool. Like, there's so much talent in Ireland, like you said. Like, they all come, they wrestle for every promotion. Like, when they come to Cork, you just feel that they're going to go out and smash it. So the X Division is the perfect opportunity for them to showcase what they can do. If they're not on the main event, it feels like a main event scene whenever they're after that kind of thing.
I think it's something different too. Like, they'll add something different to the show. Whereas you kind of, if you remember back in the old WCW days, you had the NWO, which is the top of the card, but you had all the cruiserweights doing all the wrestling. Yeah. And they did something similar in ECW. And I'm not suggesting we're going to do anything like that. However, I do like different types of matches on the show, rather than everything just being good wrestling matches, because that's okay too. But you have a little bit of comedy, you have a little bit of tag team wrestling, you have a little bit of hardcore, you have Mr. Charlie versus the Sam, and then you have your X Divisions, right? So it's all good.
Well, let's talk about that. September 9th.
September 9th,
possibly, maybe last show in the Kino. We never know. It's been
for now, yeah. Well, definitely this calendar year, anyway. Because I don't plan on putting on another show outside of September, October, and November. Or sorry, not December and November. But yeah, last one for now.
Okay, so September 9th in the Kino. Let's talk about it. The same, Mr. Charlie. Luke Barry's absolute nightmare for a match.
Yeah.
What do they call this match?
Yeah. I'll be right there with him. Sam versus Mr. Charlie, and loser loses the gimmick. So
was that?
That's the stipulation.
Oh my god!
That's the stipulation. The box versus the bag.
Versus the bag. Oh my god!
Somebody's boxes or somebody's gimmick has got to go. Yeah.
Well, they can't exist in the same universe.
There you go.
This is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I feel for you.
Yeah.
I know you're scared shitless of Mr. Charlie. I'm not sure how you feel about the Sam yet.
Sam's Billy Bedlam's favourite wrestler.
Sam's amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely amazing.
100%.
I can't wait to see it happen. I'm sick. I'm not going to be there for it.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll have it up on YouTube for you to as quick as we can. But so just when is this going out? Because
next week. Next week. Yeah.
Okay, so I can talk about a couple of other announcements.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We won't spoil anything here.
Yeah. No, that's okay. It's just to get the timing of it. But so we announced today Sam the Sham versus J Money.
Yeah.
Look, we're really looking forward to that. Sam the Sham has been around the Cork scene for quite a bit.
He has, yeah.
And he deserves a bit of a spotlight put on him. He's working really hard. So now's the shot. There's
always good to have J Money on the show.
Oh yeah, shake your money maker, shake your money.
Nobody's not coming out of a box this time, is he?
Yeah, well, you never know with J Money. You never know with J Money. He can produce quite the spectacle. So you just never know with J Money. Yeah.
Sam's come on leaps and bounds. Since the first time I remember we seen him in Circus Factory. He was on the pre-show.
Yeah.
When Big Demo was in.
That's right.
In there, we were seeing him, and now he's like. Constant. He's a constant there. He trains with Fight Factory.
He does.
And he's all over. So it's good.
He's a great lad. He's a great lad.
Better.
He's someone that's grown up in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
I do remember taking him. I filled in doing the beginners classes for CCW once, and he was there taking bumps and doing rolls about 7 years ago. It says a young punk. Yeah. Sam, you're a young fucking punk.
Before he had the dreadlocks.
No, he's an older punk. He's still a punk, but I love him to bits. Good lad. So that'll be a good match.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've Mark Andrews versus Jay Cleary for the RCW belt. Kind of wanted to really give the title picture a showcase, right? Yeah. And when we look back in the year and you look back on the matches that we've had for the belt, you'll know what I mean when you'll say, Jesus, I did commit to showcasing the belt in the best possible light. So because we've got some cracking matches planned. And Mark Andrews is somebody that I admire and have wanted to work with for a while. And I've been a big fan of his. I was a big fan of his in Progress.
Yeah.
Love the stuff in WWE. Love what he's doing right now in Impact. Delighted that he's only over across the water. We can bring him over. He's a great school over there as well. Yeah. And a great promotion in Attack. So, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to talk about a match that hasn't happened yet. It's something that people have been crying out for. It was supposed to happen in the Phoenix days. It was Raven Creed against Martina.
Yep.
Is it something that you have the exclusivity on? And something it still hasn't happened. I still can't believe it hasn't happened. Like both of them were just announcing matches, separate matches with Lana Austin over UK during the All In weekend.
Yeah.
And they've been on shows with other promotions, but.
Yeah, I just don't know what it is.
What's going on? Why can't they just have this match? Come on, girls, just have the match so we can witness.
Well, I did book it at some point, I believe, and I think somebody got COVID I can't remember why. One of them had to pull out. Sasha Mar had to pull out for some reason. I can't remember why. Was it she was going to All In or she had something? She had a prior engagement that there was no bother. Like in fairness, so. Yeah, well, like Raven's busy with Reardon O'Connor right now, and Sasha Matt will be in RCW before the end of the year. But I just don't think that we could be sitting here in January and February going, no, they still in that. So I'd love to do it. I'd love to be the first to do it, but scheduling and everything.
It's crazy that
it is
in
mad.
This country that there's not an abundance of female talent here.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're two of the top in Europe, not just Ireland.
Yeah.
And they haven't clashed yet, even with other promotions outside of Ireland.
It is mad when you think about it, because they do wrestle for Progress. Yeah. They do wrestle for OTT as well together, and they both wrestle for Hard Knocks. So it is a bit mad. They haven't wrestled and Phoenix and and CCW. Oh no, not CCW, but Phoenix and RCW. But anyway, but I suppose Raven Creed has her hands full with Raven O'Connor right now, especially since she lost to him at the last show. So one would think that there's a couple of promos incoming, and that there'll be a hell of a match.
Raven might be in a bit of trouble.
I wouldn't like to fuck with her, to be honest with you.
No, definitely not. You also announced with Jerry the tag team titles.
Yep.
Are we getting a tag team tournament for this, or is that
no tournament? No, take too long to do. To be fair, I just want to build a division. So, we'll have a match. It'll be 4 teams, for 1 pin to a fall. So it'll be Beta Beauties who have proved themselves as number 1 entry. They won the Grand Prix when we did that, and the rest of the competitors will be announced in the next couple of weeks. So it'll be a 4-way. You can probably kind of guess 1 or 2 of the teams that have been around with me in the past, but we will be leaving RCW with new tag team champions.
Nice.
Yeah, because there's no point in me having the belts in my kitchen. Just we're taking up space, we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we have these 3 shows coming up. Have you anything else coming up outside of that? Have you plans, long-term plans after the new year? Is there something else?
Yeah, keeping him very close to my chest right now until I have it finalized. But the plan is to do bigger shows, right? The plan is to do maybe not every month, but maybe once every 8 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe. Like show, big show.
Yeah.
And then show, big show. So, or show, big show, something like that. So we probably take January off because fuck it, January.
Yeah.
I always come back strong in the first week in February. So the way I like to promote. I leave March alone. There's too much stuff going on in Dublin. Good Friday is a big draw in Cork. Always has been. Absolutely. Always will be. And probably we'll be looking to get into a big show at that point. If things go the way I want them to, we could be starting the year with a very big show too. So look, there's lots going on. I'm being very busy in the background. I know there's been pretty quiet on social media, but I've been busy in the background working on a few bits and pieces, making sure that the future of Cork Wrestling is secure, venue-wise, so financially, and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. Looking to open a school as well at the moment.
Yes.
I have an offer gone in on a premises, but that's now kind of just whether they accept it or not is remains to be seen. But it's something I'm actively looking at. I'd say we will definitely have one in the next 6 months. It's just finding the right place at the right time. And I think this is a good venue. This is a good place. This is a good opportunity to get one. But as I said, look, business is business, and we'll see do they accept my proposal.
In terms of the school, do you have in mind how you want it to run? Is it going to be people from the Cork scene teaching classes, or will you be involved yourself?
Well, I'll obviously be involved from the running of it perspective. I won't be teaching per se. I will be starting off small style with just the Cork wrestlers who want to train in Cork.
Okay.
But I'm getting people asking me all the time, do we have a school? And I'm turning people away, and that's revenue when you think about it from a business perspective. So I'm looking at it like that, and I'm also looking at how we're going to develop the next Reardon O'Connors or the next Billy Bedlams or the next Raven Creeds in Cork, because there's nowhere at the moment. So that's going to have to be addressed in the next 12 months.
It has to be.
I'd love to say that I can get a bit of help from grants or governments or some bloody thing to set up, but it's proving a little bit difficult. But
impossible in this country,
Pretty much, pretty much. But we never give in to defeat, and we'll see. I will have something, I would imagine, in the next 6 to 9 months. It could be just like that. If the offer is accepted in September, then we'll be up and running by October. But if not, then I'll probably wait and do the shows and maybe look at it again in January.
Yeah. So the way some schools in the country do, they do have their own shows, school shows kind of thing. Would that be something that you plan to do? Like if somebody comes in, there's people watching now and they want to be a wrestler, and they find out finally there's a Cork school of wrestling back. They come in, they train for 6 months. Do they get a school show kind of thing, or will they get on to the RCW kind of shows?
Well, they'd have to go like everything else, I suppose. There's a rite of passage when it comes to wrestling. You've got to pay your dues, but you got to be good enough. You got to be safe enough, fit enough, strong enough to be able to do it. And there's no better way than Next Generation or NXP we had in Limerick. Or I know Steve's working on some stuff in Hard Knocks as well. you got to have that foundation. You got to be able to wrestle in a gym environment to get yourself that experience. The wrestling and the wrestling daddies of the world are gone. So there's not a lot of regional shows happening around, although you watch this space. So we'll see about that. So there's other avenues people can get experience too, you know what I mean? Not just gym shows. But we'll talk about that some other time.
We look forward to it. I hope it does happen, because I know we've done on the channel, we've done a couple of feature documentaries for Fight Factory and for the School of Irish Lessons. We'd love to do something similar. Whenever it opens, just, expose it to the people and let them see behind the scenes and what goes on, and
absolutely.
Get more people.
I'm sure we can make that happen as soon as we get the go ahead.
Absolutely. So you mentioned about your health and stuff, and you're taking a step back. Have we seen the last of Billy Bedlam Lynch in the ring?
I hope not, but I'm not. I'm very honest with that. I have no intention of getting anywhere near. I know I did involve myself in the last show, but that was done purely because I wanted it. I know it was done for my selfishness to a certain degree, but like I'm still human. I still have the itch. I still have the want. I still have the need to fulfill myself in a wrestling capacity, and then I was like, right, fuck, it could be the last night in the Kino. I wanted to just have a bit of a moment. Now, turns out it wasn't the last night we were going to get. But I mean, at that point, it felt like it looked like it was going to be. And I just wanted to have a bit of crack too, because I know everyone enjoys singing Zombie, and I do as well. So it was just a nice moment for me after being through a very, very tough 6 months, especially, maybe a year physically, my health. It was just lovely to be fucking able to just relax and into it and just do something even so small, give out a few stunners and then just do a little bit of a pop for Zombie. It was a really nice moment. But from an actual wrestling capacity, there'll be no chance that I'll be anywhere near a wrestling ring for another long while. So I have to wait for a year anyway before I can start any physical contact training. And after that, if I can train if I have the ability to train for 3 or 4 months, I will 100% be back in the ring. But I'm not just going to have a match because I want to. If I can train, I can wrestle. If I can't train, unfortunately, I'll actually have to stay retired. Well, when we're recording, but when this is going out, like Edge apparently is having his last match with Sheamus on SmackDown. He's been retired. He was retired through injury. He's coming back. He came back thanks to Sheamus, but apparently he's going to go out on his own terms now. He's going to retire how he wants to retire in his hometown. So that's in the back of your mind there, you must be thinking you're not ready to retire. I'm not.
That one more spot just later on in life.
I think I'm 45 next year, right? And I'm in reasonable shape. And I've always kept myself in pretty good cardio shape anyway, because I've played hurling and soccer for years. But I don't want to say, my last match this or last match that, because I did that before and I'd already taken a book in Titanic before I had actually physically retired. So I was in no way retiring. I should not have done that. But that's in hindsight, we kind of learn. I don't know that was probably a bad idea to have a career match, or else I should have fucking went over and Bruiser retire, because he never wrestled again, or maybe once after. And he even was saying to it, he's like, if you feel the need in the ring to reverse this, I don't mind putting you over. He couldn't understand why I wasn't putting myself over. But anyway, so we'll see. I have a couple of matches that I want to have. I'd love to do some stuff in Cork and go out in Cork. That's what I want to do.
Hopefully we'll get to see it.
Hopefully, touch wood, so. Yeah. Be good.
Outside of Cork Wrestling, All In coming up. Are you heading?
No,
for it? No,
I'm not. I'm going to America myself, actually, just for work and stuff, and I have a lot going on, so I won't be making the trip over. I'll be glued to it, all right, there. But I don't watch as much wrestling as I used to. And when I get the time to sit down to watch wrestling, because I don't like to really concentrate on it anymore, if you know what I mean. I like to watch old stuff I've already seen, because then I'm on my phone or I get up and do stuff from the house. So I'm kind of, that's where I am with it. Like I'm all in, pardon the pun, on LA Night. So I'm like, because normally I miss all this and I come in and it's too late and I'm like, oh, who's this guy? But I'm kind of I'm in on the rise this time, and I'm like, yes. It feels like Eddie Guerrero for me all over again. It's like I kind of got in the ground floor with him. And followed him through his career. No, I didn't quite follow LA Knight all through his career, but I'm aware of him in TNA.
We like Drake and stuff.
Exactly, But no, I've been watching a lot of his older stuff, and it's very entertaining.
He's everywhere at the minute. Like it's hard not to. Like even though they say they're not pushing him, like he's on every show, and he was just on the bump earlier today. Like so,
he'll get over his role. The same with Cody, are my main guys. I fell in love with Cody Rhodes a long time ago, like, and I followed him all around the Indies and followed his career. I remember him being on a podcast with Cole Cabana not too long after he made the jump from WWE, and it was fascinating to listen to him talk like that about wrestling. And I was just a good few years ago, I was just in CCW at the time as a wrestler, and I was like, geez, it's great to hear somebody actually talking about it like this. It just gave me energy. So I have been really following him quite closely. We were at a WWE event in Belfast, and he was main event with Finn Balor, and I was like, from here to I was just in front row because I got given 2 free tickets by a friend, and we were like, it was here to the door from the ring. It was amazing.
Class.
Like,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, big pops. Like, so going to WrestleMania this year as well.
Yeah, we're going as well. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Come on, Cody, don't let me down.
Is Cody dethroning? Is LA Knight or Cody who's?
That's got to be Cody. LA Knight would give him a title, an IC run first. Like, it'd be a good pop. Don't get me wrong, but and Cody's the right man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hell of a show.
Finish the story, Cody.
2 nights. WrestleMania 40. Something big's going to happen, I hope.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Okay, so as we said, September 9th in the Kino. Before we finish up, it's a Reservoir Dogs themed poster. My favorite movie of all time.
Me too.
Who comes up with your who comes up with the ideas? Most of your posters or who's?
Okay, most of the time I come up with the ideas. And then it'll either be a collaboration with CBL's brother, who's SBL, who does the graphics for a lot of shows, or Fionn, which is the lighting guy from myself and Stephen Hard Knocks. Anyway. And did some Fight Factory stuff as well. So that's basically what it is. I kind of have the idea. It could be just like random stuff comes into my head. I'll tell you about a match as well just before we go. But I just can be thinking about something. I'd be down and be, oh fuck, that's a good name for a show. It's just random stuff. I never sit down and we did at the start. Myself, Luke Barry, and Ricky Combat actually sat down when we first started Phoenix and came up with a load of names. And the odd time I might call back to some of them, like the ones in Dolan's especially. They played Knifey Spoony. That was a very good one. All the Good Friday ones are always going to be puns from the life of Brian. No matter what, they're always going to be that. And I like doing the movie ones, so I was thinking maybe doing 3 of Quentin Tarantino ones. So we might do 2 in the Pav with Quentin Tarantino ones as well.
Not a Kill Billy one, is it?
No. Myself and Luke were messing with that. You could do that, but then Kill Billy 2. Like, so.
He came back from retirement.
Yeah, maybe definitely something to do with Pulp Fiction, like say what again or some shit like that. Like, just there's so many quotes.
Big Kahuna Burger or something.
So exactly, you could literally just
anything at all.
Honey Bunny, or there's loads there. Like, but that's the kind of way we do it. Like, and maybe the odd time, to be fair, Matt Schuyler actually came up with a couple of them. He just texted me randomly. He came up with the first RCW one. I think Dino Power came up with Hooked on a Feeling. Nice. So, I mean, it's not always me.
Yeah.
But, and the whole show anyway is a collaboration of people. Like, I mean, obviously I'm the owner and I spearhead a lot of it and blah, blah, blah from a financial perspective. But on show day, got Luke doing commentary. Luke does all the social media anyway because I'm shocking at it. I'm delighted he's back in. There's no more spelling mistakes on the social media. I'm dyslexic as the day is long. Fionn doing all the lights. We've got like Michael May helping me with agenting matches, so there's an awful.
Tom's back as well doing camera work.
Tommy Philpott, doing a bit of camera work. Sorry, Tom, I stole your job as a ring announcer, but I'm having way too much fun.
Tom will be on a podcast with us next week.
Sorry, Tom.
Top 10 80s. If you're watching Top 10 80s cartoons next week with Tom Philpott.
Oh, Tom, I love a bit of 80s cartoons.
Yeah.
But so that's that kind of a thing, and it's a big team effort basically behind the scenes. But one of the other concepts I had is for a match that's actually happening in September the 9th. And it's chained to a pole elimination match for the number 1 contendership, right? And they can catch that number 1 contendership at any time. So the concept is 6 people will come out. There's 6 entrants, right? First 4 will come out, they'll be chained to the pole. And I'll be doing the chaining. So they'll be locked to the pole. They can't interfere with the match. And the last 2 will start the match. And every 2 minutes, the lights will go dum, dum, dum. It's an elimination chamber without a chamber. Right? Because fucking I don't have a chamber.
Nobody can fit a chamber in a ring.
No, especially not in the Kino.
No way.
But that's the concept of it. And then after 2 minutes, whoever gets selected by the randomator or whatever I've told Fionn, then I'll go and unlock them and then they'll join the match. So it'll be triple threat or 4-way and potentially 5-way, potentially 6-way, whatever. But that's it. That's the concept, and it's
and that's happening.
It'll be the first match in September the 9th.
There you go, exclusive here.
Yeah.
Chain to a pole.
Chain to a pole elimination match. I think is it's not a very snazzy title.
Is it no disqualification? Anything goes. Probably 6 men.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and I'll give you 5 names. I won't give it a 6th name because it won't be announced till the night. You've got Fabio, you've got Martin Steers, you've got CBL, you've got Owen Richards, you've got a debut here with Steve Carvel coming down from Belfast as well. And then the other one is another debut, but I will absolutely not let that out of the bag until the music hits. So no talk about that one. Exclusive. And it is not me, and it's not Luke Barry, because the 5 marks were like, oh no, it's Luke. I was like, no, it's not me. Definitely not.
There you go, lads. Exclusive there. Yep. Chain to a pole elimination match.
That's it.
Starting off September 9th in the Kino. Let's go to work.
Let's go to work. If you can come up with a better name before then, please let me know, and I'll change the name of the show, and you can get it or not the show. I'll change the name of the match and give you a free RCW t-shirt.
There you go. Leave it in the comments if you've got a better name for that match or anything else you want to say about the show or talk to Billy. Leave the comments. Come back to us. Subscribe to the channel. Billy, let's go to work. Been a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. We see you on the next one.
Good luck.